Yoshi P, may the light of the 12 protect him at all times, amen, has just given us an update regarding the Dawntrail benchmark. This informational update is important because it impacts not just the benchmark, but also the game itself. And most importantly, guys, we get a free Fantasia. There's a lot of information here, and I will break it down and summarize everything for you. There are 4 major points to go over. Without any delay, let's get to it. Previously, I made a video on the original statement and problem regarding the benchmark. If you haven't watched it already, I'll leave a link in the description so you can have proper context. For everyone else, or loyal man-children, you already know. Point 1. Right off the bat here, Yoshi is saying that he originally estimated the re-release of the benchmark to be around the 30th or 31st of May, but it's getting pushed back to June 3rd, 2024. Yoshi said everything was going great, but they found an issue with stability and then some power outages, so there we go, June 3rd. Point 2. Environmental parameters have been reconfigured and look better. All environment features in the character creation menu have received significant updates. Lighting was one of the major areas that received a lot of attention, and now you're able to adjust the lighting and time of day. Yoshi did compare this to how you may take a screenshot similar to G-Pose. He also did encourage everyone to play around with the options and see how they affect your character's appearance. There's also the removal of the vignette on your character creation menu. Here, Yoshi stated that there used to be a dark translucency similar to limb darkening to help visibility of the menu options. It was decided to remove this as it does change the color perception of the characters and specifically their hair and eyes. Real quick before the next point, I want to thank you guys. The channel is growing and it's motivating when I get positive feedback through comments, likes, and subs. And if you want to support the channel, please consider taking a look at my Patreon page or hitting the thanks button below. Or another free and easy way is to hit like or subscribe if you haven't already. With that said, let's get right back to it. Point 3. Several data processes were also fixed, and here are some examples. Pupil highlights and lip gloss. The old benchmark had a weakened version of their new lighting process. It caused the highlights to appear small and give eyes a soulless look that is now fixed. The rendering processes and textures for lips have been revised and are now more attractive. The most important part of this section is, he states, and I quote, "Rest assured, these revisions will not only be reflected in character creation, but will be present in the game itself as well." The next example is facial expressions, smile lines, and skin. Some feedback stated that facial impressions had changed around the eye specifically, and it's mainly due to lighting. It was causing wrinkles and contours to be more pronounced than intended. To fix this, some new textures were redrawn. Correction of low-resolution sections of hair were also addressed. Shown here in this picture, you can see how the hair is more defined and less of a clump of hair. Self-shadowing optimizations and adjustments were also addressed here. When characters were backlit or in a shadow, the softened shading made details appear flat. So adjustments were made to the lighting to help preserve a 3D appearance. Fog itself has also been adjusted to help with these situations. And on to the final point, point 4. Direction of character graphical update and regarding Fantasia. Yoshi addresses that the graphics will continue to be refined and that the bulk of adjustments are completed and will be reflected in the updated benchmark. The game itself will also receive updates to fix things like pupil highlights and lip gloss. Because the adjustments to the game will inevitably cause your character to look different, they will be adding a questline in 7.0 which will reward you with a Phial of Fantasia. It was mentioned in the last live letter as well, after using a Phial of Fantasia, you'll have 60 minutes of in-game playtime from the initial usage to re-edit your character's appearance as many times as you wish. He goes on to say that they will be watching feedback closely and will be addressing any issues in future patches. I wanted to give my 2 cents real quick here. Something I wanted to touch on was that I'm really glad the team is taking the feedback seriously. I've heard people say it's just a benchmark and it doesn't matter, but these adjustments do affect the final product of Dawntrail. The bigger message is, if they are taking such great care with these fine details, then I have much more confidence that the bigger issues are receiving even more care and attention. On the other side of things, let's be clear, this was a mistake being corrected. Maybe it was time constraints, or just maybe they thought good enough was good enough, but they failed to deliver on people's expectations. Again, I have all the confidence that the final product will be nothing short of amazing, but there's always rain before the rainbow. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to check back here because Final Fantasy XIV is going to be really busy, and I intend to cover as much as I can. Thanks again, and take care till next time.